You are about to discover a secret that medicine insists on ignoring. The last months of an elderly person's life are not a mystery, they are a map with clear signs, but which 9 out of 10 families do not see. While the world talks about longevity and healthy aging, there are subtle, almost imperceptible warnings that reveal when the body is preparing for its last journey. And the most counterintuitive thing? Recognizing these signs isn't about giving up on life, it's about turning the end into an act of love and quality of life. Imagine being able to avoid regrets, guarantee dignity and create heartwarming memories for decades to come. It all starts with one simple step: observing. From the walking speed that has slowed to the restful sleep that has fled, every detail is a clue. And here's the quick reward: whoever cracks this code gains time to act, time worth more than gold. But beware, this is not a video about death. It's a manual for living better right up until your last breath. Get ready to discover the 5 signs that most people overlook, and how they can be the key to an ending full of well-being and social connections. Curious? The journey begins now. Life is like a jigsaw puzzle. Sometimes subtle pieces reveal the bigger picture. Many elderly people begin to show discrete signs up to a year before they leave. A change in walking pace, less interest in hobbies they once loved, or even a less frequent smile. Observing these details isn't drama, it's wisdom. Imagine a grandmother who always loved looking after the plants, but now lets the garden die. This is not laziness. It could be a sign that the energy for simple activities is fading. Those who notice early on gain time to act with love. And how can this observation be transformed into practical care? Start by strengthening social connections. Visit more, listen to old stories, invite people over for a light lunch with healthy food. Loss of speed when walking or excessive tiredness can be compensated for with adaptations at home, such as grab bars or a stool in the shower. Oh, and don't underestimate a chat with a geriatrician. They assess everything from cardiovascular health to body balance, helping to prevent falls that accelerate decline. But beware, early signs are not a death sentence. They are a call to prioritize quality of life and meaningful moments. How about creating a photo album together or recording video testimonials? These actions strengthen emotional well-being and give purpose. Remember, healthy aging is not about postponing the inevitable, but about living each stage with dignity. Weight loss for no apparent reason is like a bell ringing silently. Few hear it, but the warning is there. When an elderly person loses more than 5% of their body weight in a few months, muscle strength and mobility may be at risk. It's not just baggy clothes, it's the body signaling that nutrient absorption is failing or that metabolism has slowed down. Imagine a grandmother who used to love cooking but now barely touches her plate. This is not lack of hunger. It could be a sign that the body is struggling to maintain itself. How to act? Invest in a healthy diet, but don't go too far. Offer small portions rich in protein and good calories, such as boiled eggs, avocado or creamy soups. If you find it difficult to chew, smoothies with oats and bananas are a practical way out. And don't forget light physical activity. Daily stretches or a short walk in the yard help preserve mobility and independence. And include a vitamin supplement if advised by a nutritionist. Sometimes the body needs a little boost. But beware, weight loss can also hide chronic illnesses or even cognitive decline, such as forgetting to eat. A simple tip? Use colorful dishes to stimulate the appetite and turn meals into moments of social connection. How about a family lunch with background music? Food nourishes the body, but company strengthens the soul. When tiredness feels like an invisible weight on your shoulders, it's time to pay attention. Extreme fatigue isn't simply running out of energy, it's the body whispering that it's prioritizing vital functions, such as keeping the immune system active or cardiovascular health stable. Imagine an elderly person who used to love a walk in the park, but now can barely get out of their armchair. This is not laziness. It could be a sign that even simple tasks such as putting on a blouse require superhuman effort. How to help? Adapt your routine to preserve muscle strength. Shower chairs with support, clothes with easy fastenings, and even a colorful cane can make a difference. Encourage gentle physical activity, such as breathing exercises or circular movements with your arms. Up to 10 minutes a day will help. And don't underestimate restorative sleep. An afternoon nap in a quiet room with a light blanket and a mild temperature recharges your energy like a discreet miracle. But beware, persistent weakness can lead to isolation, which accelerates cognitive decline. How about transforming your routine into moments of connection? A cup of tea while listening to a song from your youth or a daily phone call to tell you what's new. Quality of life does not lie in the absence of tiredness, but in the art of finding joy even when the body asks for a break. The mind is like a river. When the waters become murky, it's a sign that something has changed along the way. Cognitive decline can manifest itself in frequent forgetfulness, like losing the keys in the fridge, or in moments of disorientation, even in familiar places. Emotional withdrawal, on the other hand, is more subtle. A grandfather who used to crack jokes now keeps quiet, or a grandmother who used to avoid conflict now reacts with irritation. These are signs that the brain is distributing energy, prioritizing basic functions to the detriment of social connections. How to act without invading autonomy. Create gentle stimuli, put on a radio playing songs from the elderly person's youth, or scatter old photos around the house to activate emotional memories. Simple games such as jigsaw puzzles with a few pieces or cards with colorful pictures exercise the mind without putting pressure on it. And don't ignore healthy eating. Omega-3 found in fish such as sardines, and antioxidants, red fruits, are fuel for the brain. Oh, and include a short walk in the yard. The combination of physical activity and sunlight boosts mental well-being. But remember, confusion is not a lack of love. Sometimes a long hug or a question like, "What was your best trip?" rekindles the flame of connection. And if the elderly person mixes past and present, join in the dance. Listen to their stories as if they were new. Quality of life in old age doesn't lie in absolute clarity, but in the ability to feel safe even in the fog. The immune system in old age is like a tired bodyguard. It still protects but needs reinforcements. Urinary infections, pneumonia, or wounds that take weeks to close are signs that the body's defenses are down. What's worse? Often the warning doesn't come with a fever, but with fatigue or sudden mental confusion. Imagine an elderly person who has always been active, but now has a cold and a cut on his arm that won't heal. It's not bad luck. It's the body silently asking for help. How can this barrier be strengthened? Disease prevention starts with simple habits. Rigorous hygiene, hand washing has become an art. Up-to-date vaccinations and constant hydration. For persistent wounds, opt for dressings with medicinal honey, yes honey, or propolis-based ointments which speed up healing. And don't forget healthy eating. A colorful dish with pumpkin, spinach, and grilled chicken offers zinc and vitamin C, nutrients that boost the immune system. Oh, and a natural probiotic, such as yogurt with kefir, can balance the intestinal flora and protect your health. But beware, recurrent infections undermine physical health and emotional well-being. If the elderly person avoids going out for fear of falling or hurting themselves, create a safe environment. Non-slip mats and adequate lighting are allies. And include light social connections, a visit from a grandchild to tell jokes or a daily phone call. Joy, is an invisible remedy that even strengthens restful sleep. Breathing is the invisible rhythm that keeps us alive, and when it fails, the body gives clear signals. Short, irregular breaths or the feeling of air not filling your lungs can indicate that your cardiovascular health is under pressure. Cold hands and feet, bluish skin, and swollen legs are silent cries of compromised circulation. Imagine an elderly person who used to sing in the church choir and now has to stop every 2 steps to catch their breath. It's not lack of conditioning, it's the heart crying out for help. What to do? Keep the room ventilated and humidified. A bucket of water in the room or an electric humidifier will help humidify the air. Place pillows to elevate the torso during sleep, making it easier for oxygen to enter. To improve circulation, light leg massages with almond oil from bottom to top are a simple and affectionate strategy. And don't ignore hydration. Coconut water or warm teas such as chamomile keep the blood flowing better. Oh, and tight clothes? No way. Opt for light fabrics that don't constrict mobility. But beyond the physical, there's an emotional aspect. Difficulty breathing generates anxiety, which worsens the condition. How about creating calming rituals? Listening to soft music while doing guided breathing exercises. Breathe in through your nose, count to 4. And if there is a buildup of fluid in the lungs, a physiotherapist can teach you postural drainage techniques. Remember, taking care of disease prevention includes preserving peace of mind. There comes a time when fighting against the current only leads to more fatigue, and that's when wisdom comes into play. Instead of insisting on invasive treatments, the focus should be on comfort. A calm environment with soft lighting, soothing sounds such as the sound of a fountain or a playlist of favorite songs, and affectionate touches. Imagine an elderly person who feels pain when moving. Instead of medicating them into drowsiness, A massage with lavender oil or a warm compress on the back can relieve tension and restore well-being. Sometimes less is more. And what should be included in this practical care? Frequent hydration with water in small sips, soothing teas such as fennel, or even homemade fruit popsicles to moisten the mouth. Supportive medical care such as oxygen therapy ensures that every breath is less painful. And don't underestimate the power of silence. Sitting by your side, holding your hand or reading a short poem are worth more than speeches. Oh, and soft pillows to adjust your position in bed make all the difference to mobility and pain relief. But the greatest gift? Respecting the elderly person's wishes. If they've always loved the smell of fresh coffee, let the aroma invade the room. If they prefer solitude, ensure moments of peace. Quality of life at the end of the journey is not measured by tests, but by the ability to feel loved until the last breath. When medicine runs out of options, life still has cards up its sleeve, exchanging the battle for grueling wars for moments worth gold. Prioritizing quality of life is not giving up, it's choosing to honor the journey with peace and dignity. Imagine an elderly person who, instead of spending hours in hospital, receives therapeutic massages or listens to family stories. That's not abandoning treatment. It's redesigning the path so that every day has a taste of well-being. Even a simple sunset in the window can be a celebration. How to put this into practice? Invest in small rituals. A cup of hot chocolate with cinnamon, if allowed, aromatherapy sessions with sweet orange oil, or even a digital photo album with background music that has marked your history. Social connections are essential. A video call with distant friends or a long hug from a grandchild rekindles the flame of joy. And don't forget basic disease prevention. Maintaining oral hygiene, for example, prevents infections and preserves the pleasure of enjoying fresh fruit. But the biggest secret? Ask the elderly person what they want. Want to visit a special place? Organize an adapted outing. Want to leave a legacy? Record an audio testimonial or plant a tree in their name. True longevity lies not in the years lived, but in the memories that remain. Life doesn't tell you when it's going to change chapters, but those who are attentive can turn the page with serenity. Recognizing the signs that the journey is coming to an end is not morbidity, it's a chance to turn goodbyes into gestures of love. Imagine a family that, instead of rushing to the hospital for the 10th time, chooses to organize a dinner party with their grandfather's favorite recipes, while he can still taste every bite. That's not accepting death. It's honoring the quality of life until the very last moment. How to prepare without losing your mind. Start with the basics. Talk about wills, advanced healthcare directives, and even details such as favorite music for a farewell moment. Documents are useful, but social connections are the real foundation. How about creating a gratitude journal, where everyone writes down memories shared with the elderly person? Or make sure they have access to restful sleep and stress management through complementary therapies such as Reiki or soothing music. Oh, and don't underestimate the power of a leisurely goodbye. Sometimes a shared silence is worth 1,000 words. But the final preparation isn't just about the elderly person, it's about those who remain. Encourage the family to express forgiveness, gratitude, and even fears out loud. Ask, what do you most want us to remember about you? These conversations are bricks in the bridge between love and grief. While some fear the inevitable, others discover that true longevity lies in the seeds planted in the hearts of those who remain. Life is a mosaic of goodbyes and new beginnings, and understanding this doesn't weaken you, it strengthens you. The video is not a death manual, but a guide to living the last moments with dignity and love. Imagine a family that, after recognizing the signs, transforms fear into practical action. Adapting the house, celebrating stories, and ensuring that the elderly person feels like a protagonist until the end. That's not sadness, it's the courage to write an ending that honors a lifetime. How can you apply this knowledge? Start today. Notice the little signs in your grandparents, parents, or even yourself. Invest in healthy habits, a daily 15-minute walk, a leisurely dinner with colorful vegetables, and strengthen social connections with weekly calls to those far away. How about creating a gratitude day, as a family, where everyone shares a fond memory? And if the journey is difficult, remember, online support groups such as Caregivers Anonymous offer non-judgmental listening. The final invitation? Don't wait for the crisis to come knocking. Share this knowledge, forward the video to those in need, share your experiences in the comments, or simply hug someone today. Disease prevention begins with attention, but true longevity comes from the love we leave as a legacy. And while some run away from the subject, you now carry a secret. Death is not the enemy, but a master who teaches you to value every breath. Share in the comments. Which sign from this video impacted you the most? What healthy habit will you adopt today to honor the one you love? Spread this knowledge, tag a friend who needs to see this, share it in your family group. And if you want to go further, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Because life doesn't wait, but with wisdom you can be prepared. See you next time.